Hi, this is Victor and welcome back to my math tutoring channel. In this video, we will evaluate the integral in front of us, which is square root of 9 minus x squared divided by x squared dx. And the technique that I will be using is trigonometric substitution, trigonometric identity, and I will use the trigonometric triangle to replace theta by its value. But before I start solving it, let me give you a small summary about the trigonometric substitution. If I have square root of a square minus x square, I will take my x is equal a sine of theta, and I will use the trigonometric identity formula cosine square of theta equal 1 minus sine square of theta. And if I have square root of a square plus x square, I will take my x is equal a tan of theta, and the trigonometric identity that I will be using is sec square of theta equal 1 plus tan square of theta. And if I have square root of x square minus a square, I will take my x equal a sec of theta, and the trigonometric identity that I will use is tan square of theta equal sec square of theta minus 1. In that example, I have, which is my a is equal to 3 because a square is 9 and my x square is x square. So if I, to use the trigonometric substitution, I'm gonna take, let x equal, my a is 3 as we said, sine of theta. So my dx is equal 3 cosine theta d theta. And now let's replace x by its value in my trigonometric problem that I will solving. So the trigonometric problem will become integral of square root of 9 minus x square, but we said x equal 3 sine of theta, so minus 3 sine of theta square divided by x square, which is 3 sine of theta square, and my dx that is here, it become 3 cosine theta d theta. So multiplied by 3 cosine theta d theta. So let's work my integral a little bit. My integral become square root of 9, and I know like my 3 square is equal 9 and sine square of theta divided by 9 sine square of theta and multiplied by 3 cosine theta d theta. And if I look at my square root here, I can factor out 9. So my integral become, if I factor out 9 inside the square root, outside the square root it becomes 3. Square root of 1 minus sine square of theta. Because like I factored out 9 inside, like there were a 9, but I took it out as 3, divided by 9, divided by 9 sine square of theta multiplied by 3 cosine theta d theta. So this 3 multiplied by this 3 is 9, divided by this 9 is 1. And I can, as we said here, I will use cosine square of theta equal 1 minus sine square of theta. So I have here 1 minus sine square of theta, so it becomes cosine square of theta. It's a trigonometric identity formula which said cosine square of theta plus sine square of theta or sine square of x is equal to 1. So 1 minus sine square of theta equal to cosine square of theta. And this 9 with this 3 and that 3 will be simplified. So my integral becomes square root of cosine square of theta times cosine theta d theta divided by sine square of theta. So square root of cosine square theta is cosine theta. This is cosine theta multiplied by cosine theta is cosine square theta. So I will have cosine square theta d theta divided by sine square theta. My integral become that. But I know cosine divided by sine is cotangent. So my integral become integral of cotangent square of theta d theta. And there is another trigonometric trigonometric identity formula that said cotangent square of theta is equal cosec square of theta minus 1. So I will use this now. So my integral become, instead of cotangent, I will replace it by cosec square of theta. But because I have minus, I can put d theta here minus integral of 1 times d theta, which is d theta. But here, integral of cosec square of theta d theta, it's a formula. It is equal to cotangent minus cotangent of theta. So that will be equal minus cotangent of theta, this. And this is equal minus theta plus c. So now if I want to draw my trigonometric triangle, this is my theta. And as we took here, we took x is equal 3 sine of theta. So I will write it here, x is equal 3 sine of theta. So sine of theta is equal x divided by 3. So I divide here by 3 and here by 3. So sine of theta is equal x divided by 3. And I know the sine is the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. So my opposite become x and my hypotenuse become 3. And I have square root of 9 minus x squared. I put it on the side that is empty. So this cotangent of theta, I can write it minus, and the cotangent, I know it is equal 1 divided by tangent, tan of theta, but the tan is equal sine divided by cosine, so this become minus cosine theta divided by sine of theta, and that theta that is here is equal, if I want theta here, is equal, so theta equals sine minus 1 of x divided by 3. So now I know that my theta is equal sine minus 1x over 3, and I have here minus cosine theta divided by theta, which is minus cotangent theta. So I will rewrite my answer that I got here as minus cosine of theta divided by sine of theta minus, and my theta I can write it sine or arc sine or sine minus 1 x divided by 3 plus c. But I know if I look at my trigonometric triangle here, the cosine of theta is equal the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. So I can put the adjacent, which is minus square root of 9 minus x squared divided by the hypotenuse is equal 3. And I have division here. I will write it that way. It's easier for you to see. And sine of theta is equal opposite divided by hypotenuse, which is divided by x divided by 3. And I have minus that is here, sine minus 1 of x divided by 3 plus c. Yeah? And here I know I can replace the division by multiplication, but I have to flip the second fraction. So my answer become minus square root of 9 minus x squared divided by 3 times 3 divided by x minus sine minus 1 or arc sine x divided by 3 plus c. But I can simplify the 3 here and the 3 there. So it become minus square root of 9 minus x squared divided by x minus sine to the power of minus 1 x divided by 3 plus c. And that would be my final answer. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. That would help me tremendously. And if you push the like button, I would really appreciate it. Thank you for listening.